1, 2, 3. Boom! Wow, that was so hard. Like me. I goof off too much during these. Alright, we're doing a voice check here. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, and the waving wheat, it sure smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. The reason why I sung that is before we we are experiencing here in my part of Texas 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and so every once in a while, if I'm talking, you may hear like it sounds like somebody dropped an entire restaurant's worth of ice on my roof. Hello, warmongers! How about that one? No, what? No! Y'all sound like a bunch of Black Panther villain rejects. Okay, maybe you're right. Be more creative with it, bro. My name is DJ, and this is my world in miniature. Alright guys, so before we begin, I just wanted to give you a quick tour and update on the setup and how I run my setup and everything. But here's everything that I do crafty, and actually I pretty much live in this area right here. I go to sleep in a bedroom, but this is pretty much where I live. The reason why I have 4 screens here is because I want to be able to have access to all types of media that I want wherever I'm sitting. So this is my main desk where I do my gaming, my editing, and all that kind of stuff. And this is my crafting desk where I do my painting and crafting and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to be able to do anything from either one of these desks, and that includes play my PS5 because I can play it on that TV. So yeah, that's the media computer that's hooked up to there. This is my main computer that's hooked up to the internet and everything, and that plays on these 3 screens right here. And just like I said last time, I was able to figure out how to get this monkey arm to have the condenser mic on it so that I can use it when I'm talking to you in craft, so you don't have to hear this crappy audio like you are now. All I have to do is swivel it around here like that, and now it's my voiceover mic for when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm editing. The way I did that was, this is the crappiest mount ever. So what I ended up doing was opening it up to its max and slipping common Pokemon cards in there. So now it's super stuck because I've slipped so many Pokemon cards in there so that it won't move at all. I've also used common Pokemon cards to keep this TV up because it's got a little sensor down there that makes it uneven if I don't do that. But yeah, that's the setup. I can go into a lot more detail, but I'm not gonna. Oh, before I go though, this is how I do the overhead shots. I have to run this bank line up to the wall where there's a hook, and it comes down, and I can adjust it using this top line hitch. Adjust it up and down. All my outdoorsy stuff is coming into play, and so I can use it to get a level down shot. This is how you got the unboxing video and the beginning of this video that you're about to see. But there's a sneak peek at what we're going to be painting today and all the references I have. And yeah, what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be painting this piece of terrain. I kind of want to talk through how I want to paint this. I guess it's not a him. And some stuff that I might try and do. I want to do some OSL, some object source lighting here with the little brazier. I think it's a brazier or whatever it is, the fire. What I'm doing is I'm actually taking the terrain pieces and making the 2 of the pieces for one faction and 2 of the pieces for another, and that way I can do a little bit different on the coloring. And all this here is going to be, you know, kind of like that white marbly texture or look and texture. And then if you can see inside here, enhance. Too far. Okay, there's a little rat in here. I don't know if you could, there's a little tiny rat. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the pieces here. We are back. I've primed these, as you can tell, black and white. These 2 pieces here actually are going to be on, the floor. These 2 pieces are going to be the Stormcast Eternals pieces. With the Stormcast Eternals, we are making this marble. All of this is going to be marble. I don't know how detailed I want to get with it yet though. I'm not sure if I want
this to just be marble so people look at it and go, oh, marble. It actually kind of looks like marble now just with the primer on it, which took me a day, by the way, because I still don't have spray primer and I haven't bought any new utensils for this. So I primed it with this, and it took 3 coats to get it to that point. It just took forever. I still haven't bought any new paints. I still haven't bought any new brushes or anything because, well, I'm poor. We're still working with what we did last time, except last time I will admit that the miniature, this guy here, Mr. Butcher, he is okay, I guess, but I did rush. After I got done with the armor, I got really impatient and just kind of slapped everything else on. And so, which is something you have to worry about when you're painting, because this stuff does take time. I was inspired at the beginning, but I lost the inspiration. I feel like I could do better. And so today we're going to try and make these pieces look really good, just to see if I can. So now I'm just trying to figure out if I varnish this, do I want to go through and varnish each brick and not varnish the crack? Looks like it was varnished and then somebody broke through it. But today, or this section, we're just going to be doing base coating. Okay, so that's that. Let's get to actually painting. All right, so while I set up the wet palette and rinse water, I want to talk to you about the discount ways that I replicate some of the fancier things miniature artists use. Now, I already owned a wet palette, so I don't have to recreate one, but it can be made with a shallow Tupperware container, parchment paper, and paper towels. There are many how-tos here on YouTube if you don't want to buy one, which is 100% unnecessary to do. Some really good artists prefer the DIY version. The next hack, I guess, I'm quite proud of, actually. I use an old electric toothbrush as a paint agitator. This is nowhere near as good as a mini vortex mixer, but any vibration is a good vibration. Am I right, ladies?
Sorry, children.
So I will be the first to tell you I can't keep my palette organized for very long, but I can show you that I start out that way. I put a good amount of each color with a good puddle, droplet amount of water above each color, so I don't mix one color of water into another paint color, tinting it in a way I don't want. Now, this is my second attempt at doing the marble texture. The first thing I was going to do was a lot like this, with the colored pools of blue instead of green and golden striations. I don't have any footage to show you because I was going to show you on another part of the model if I liked it. I didn't. My ancient brush was so thick and hooked at the tip that I couldn't get the lines thin enough to pull the look off. So here I am showing you another easier way using wet blending to achieve the marbled texture, which I also don't like. So I bought a pack of 10 detail brushes on Amazon for $8. I know, big spender right here. I'm sorry to let you guys down. I will try not to spend so much that you can't follow along.
Nice.
But if you have such immeasurable expendable income, the link to these exact brushes are in the description. No sponsorship, no affiliate link, just one aspiring artist helping another. This one brush is driving my OCD crazy. I'm sorry, we all have to suffer through this. Oh, he's figured it out, guys. You can do it. It's like trying to watch a four-fingered man open a pickle jar. Okay, there we go. Yeah, straighten off the bottom there. All right, now we can move on. It's the intermission! Can you name this movie in the comments?
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
Past that.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Excelente suposición. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out if you're right. Let me know if seeing the movie makes it too easy for you. I let the model sit for a day and ended up coming around on the marble look, so I decided to go with what I had. The technique I used was a combination of wet blending and washes. After I was done getting the look down, I used a reference picture and some common sense to pick out the spots I needed to shade and highlight. I wanted to save the metallics and the fire for last, so I decided to finish off the smaller aspects of the terrain piece. I did this by basing, washing, and highlighting the skeletons and the items inside the cubbyholes. I needed a reference for the OSL coming from the fire, so I used fire to get the shot. When working with metallics, I think it works best when you apply an oil wash to the areas after they are base coated. But you don't want to put the mineral spirits in the wet palette. That's why I'm making a separate palette that fits into my wet palette by using an old plastic palette and cutting the flower part out with my Dremel. So now we can base the metallic parts. I am using Reaper paints to paint this terrain, and I am using the gold and steel triads. Somehow, I forgot to film me painting the gold parts. Oops! After the base coat, we oil wash the entire metallic surface with a black oil wash. I have already pulled out all the wash colors I think I might use from my oil paint collection and set them aside for future projects. I've got somebody down here who's a little jealous of me painting these models. Look at the Lulu, isn't she just so cute? We just give her all the loves in the world. She deserves it more. She's just such a cool girl. Yes, she is. Once I mix the oil paints and the spirits, I apply it generously and make sure to get the cracks and crevices. Don't worry about it being too dark or a little messy, because you can come back with a Q-tip with some of the spirits on it and clean up and wipe away where you don't want to see the wash. Then, after wiping the wash off to reveal a dirty, grimy texture, we go back and dry brush the brightest color of the triad we're using to get the highlights. This is where I use the references from the top-down light source and the fire light source. While I have these photos in mind, I also do the blue flame using a series of washes to build up the fire from white hot at the bottom to bright blue at the tips, also accounting for the reflections off the marble that the blue flame would cast. After all that is done and dusted, I varnish the marble, making sure to not varnish the scrapes, gouges, or blown off parts. This symbol was cast after the wall was made, so I wanted to varnish first so that the glowing effect would look right. I started by painting the burned in parts a black green and then fading out a brighter green to make the symbol glow. And to add the last touch, I painted the same bright green in the center of the marking itself to make it look as if it's the origin of the light. With all that finished, I went ahead and painted the other Stormcast terrain piece, and I called it a wrap. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart for making it this far into the video and watching it in full. I do know that there are a couple touch-up spots I do need on the wall portion of the terrain that I did today, particularly after I dry brushed the metallics, but I didn't catch it until I was editing this video and saw it on the camera, on the screen. So tell me what you think down in the comments, and anything that you think I can do to improve, or if you like it, if you don't, or whatever. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then the notification bell so you'll be notified when I come out with my next video, and we can paint the other terrain pieces. Anyways, thank you again from the bottom of my heart for watching this far in the video. I'll see you later. Peace.